Welcome to the Tuesday. Oh, what do I say? It's been so long. Welcome to the Heritage Live Weekly, everyone. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we watch the market, we watch the auctions, and you have a live chat here. So if there's anything you ever want to ask me, make sure to show up on Tuesday and I can answer it for you. Yeah, Opal, there's actually, we'll just scroll through here. We have an 8.5A here on this. I need to see which print this is because these are always super interesting. I'm waiting to see a, earlier print come up. This is again a 1988. I am waiting to see a 1983 version come up of this game. The 88 print is proving to, you know, have a decent population at least, but the lower versions are yet to come up in the weeklies from what I've seen. Metroid Classic 9.0A+. Despite it being the Classic series, like, the Metroids aren't that easy to find. Maybe that's just my opinion on it, but you don't see this one nearly as much as you'd think you would for it being a Classic series later release. The big one, obviously the Mario Bros over here, the 8.5A. We also have Princess Tomato, which if you were ever a full set NES collector or deep in the library, super cool to see a Princess Tomato up. NES Turtles. I'm pretty sure someone in chat was just asking if there was a Ninja Turtles. Here's a 9.0A for you. Also, Tecmo Cup Soccer is really cool to see in factory sealed form. Again, more of a full set NES collector title. Also a GoldenEye 9.0A+, already at $10,000, which is just insane. If you've been following for a while, I'm sure you remember when the 9.8A++ sold for $20,000 and everyone lost their goddamn mind. Well, here we are now with the 9.0A+ already at half of that. Crazy inflation. Actually, GBA here, look at this. Golden Sun 9.6A++, Leaf Green 9.6A+, and a decent Sapphire. I'm excited for the Golden Sun, actually. Here's the Mario Bros, which will be the first auction we take a peek at here, because I'm always curious to see where these fall. And the Mario, I was looking at chat there. I didn't even see what it sold for. $3,120 for the Mario Bros. Atari 2600. Where the hell does that put us here? We've been having 7.0, 7.0, 6.5. I might need to get more. 6.5, 7.0, 7.0, 9.0A+ right there for 84. 9.2A sold for 38. 1989. 87. What did we just have? An 87, I thought? Or was it an 88 print? Ugh. Atari is going to be the bane of my life. I think this is an 88 print. Is there an Atari guy in chat who can talk to me about the 83, 87, 88, and 89 prints on Mario Bros? Someone needs to clue me in on that. Am I looking at sealed VHS tapes? Very loosely. Like, I'm following the market, Johnny. I am watching what develops, but I'm not throwing real money into VHS at this time. What games do I keep open to play? Knights of Old, I have an entire collection of open stuff. I'm not just sealed. I almost completed a full NES set of cartridges at one point in time. I still have like 300, 400 of them. I almost have a complete N64 set. Yeah, like I focus on sealed collecting and I follow the sealed market very closely, but you know, I'm grassroots collector, came up from cartridges, then did complete in box, then did sealed. So the primary bulk of my collection is still in cartridges and complete in box. Do I think that other languages could see similar growth to English boxes? That's part of the market gets priced out, and some of the same English boxes. Millennium Vintage, we're actually already seeing some shift over to the Japanese market. So, I mean, at this point, I think there is a lot of speculation in it because of what you said, that people think it will follow the English market. So be warned that there might not be as much organic demand there. But yeah, no, it's a fair, logical argument. Found your channel after seeing the Carl Jobst video. Do you think WATA will ever release those population reports? I absolutely do still alive. Yes, WATA will release them at some point. I do not know if we're talking 6 months from now. I do not know if we're talking a year from now, but we will undoubtedly get them at some point. I am extremely confident on that, but I'm not extremely confident on a timeline. You like collecting Japanese games. As pre-PS1, most aren't sealed, so cheaper. What's your opinion on them and their future collectability? Knights of Old, what I've seen a lot of people doing, though, is going after ones that have never been opened. So, you know, yes, they weren't sealed, but VGA can still authenticate them as unopened, so you can still get standard seal grading. So actual unopened copies are the ones that are going to see massive, you know, if you want to go an investment route, try to get actual unopened copies. If you're going for opened copies, I don't know enough about actual supply of how many there are out there, so I can't really give you a good comment on something like that. Do I think WATA can be sued for not releasing population reports? No. I don't think they can at all. I don't think they have any actual obligation to do that in any way. You're hyped for the certified link auction? It's super stacked, plus I have a couple things in there. When is the next certified link auction there, Costa? I know the golden auction is coming up right away here. That's on Saturday, I think. We're going to cover the golden auction as well, if you want to tune in for that. I'm going to put up a little preview video in the next couple days, and then Saturday night, I believe the golden auction ends, where we have another 9.8 A++ Mario 64, we have a VGA 95 Mario 64, we have a Sonic 1. There's going to be tons of six-figure sales. We might see $1 million sale. It's going to be fucking insane. So if you want to follow in for that, this Saturday, I think it's 10 p.m. Eastern time. The auctions start ending, so I'll let you guys know when I'm going on. Is WATA ever going to hire more people? Ryan, you hope so, right? You hope so. Once that Collector's Universe PSA money comes in, WATA really should be able to expand operations and improve operations. But I mean, that might still be a year away until we start seeing like the really good effects of the more money. Have I seen Mario Sunshine for 2K? Now bidding GameCube games are about to be 10K plus every classic game by month. Evelyn, I don't know if we're gonna get to 10K on those anytime soon, unless like pure perfect copies maybe, but once you get into GameCube, PS2 and stuff, supply of those games does go up a lot. So just keep that in mind. Ceilings will be reached a lot quicker on titles like that. Certified is on this Thursday. Fuck. There's so much taking place, Costa. My God, I can't keep up. It's honestly insane. You know, that's what I worry about. People talk about a bubble crash and stuff. I just worry about like oversaturation of games in general. Because all of this stuff is being sold at open auction, meaning there has to be a buyer and it's like, you know what I mean? If it was all buy it now listings, prices will just sit wherever they sit because people don't sell. But when it's open auctions over and over and over again, market saturation can happen because at the end of the day, there will be a sale price and they could trend lower if demand wanes. Not even because of a bubble crash or anything, just because the buyers run out of money. That's more so where I'm worried about any kind of crash or something. But, I mean, so far the market's been incredibly strong in absorbing this many games, but shit. I don't know. It's a lot of auctions. A lot of auctions. 576 for the Bomberman. I just want to see if they have sold an earlier print and what it did go for. 9.6A round sold for 3,300. 9.2A round 1,300. Just not that expensive on Bomberman, all things considered. 576 for this one. Just a like pretty affordable NES game for a title like Bomberman. No, I haven't heard any update on with Cool Trainer Ryan Matt. If you go follow him on Instagram and his YouTube, I'm absolutely positive that he will update you guys on that. Really don't understand how difficult it is to remake the plastic case, the sealed. Wasn't it made with a machine? Just do it again. There's a lot more to it, Rodrigo. I'm going to make a video soon talking about factory seals and how it works and so that you can have a better idea of it, but there's a lot more to it than simply, oh, we can just replicate it. They would have been replicated years ago if it was truly that easy. Here's Metal Gear 9.2A. I would love to get a Metal Gear in my collection at some point of time. I would probably rather own the PS1 version, to be completely honest, but I mean, the NES version will always have a special place as well. I mean, $3,600 for Metal Gear. 9.08 plus on the Classic Series Metroid, which, I mean, as much as I love the original Metroid cover, this cover's fucking awesome. Like, this one just, it's nicer, it displays nicer. This is such a better cover than the original one. If you don't agree, you're wrong. That's a hill I'm gonna die on. This is just a complete in-box mid-production of Tyson here with Rev A, so I'm gonna go ahead and look at comps here on Metal Gear, and then we'll do the Samus. Or the Metroid, I always call it Samus. I call it Samus because I play Smash, so I always just refer to it as Samus. 7.5A, 7.5A, 2,600, oh my lord. Why? I can't believe how much this 7.5A like did shitty after this one for 2,600. So the 9.8A plus is at 2,800, $1,000 for the 8.0A. Then we're back in November and we're just too far. This actually comes up for auction less than I anticipated. I thought more Metal Gears have sold at Heritage, to be completely honest. Interesting. Interesting price point on that. Let's check out the Metroid here. I don't know if they've offered any Classic Series before. 9.4A, this is a 9.0A plus for half the price. Holy shit. I'm a bit surprised by that. 9.4A for 4,800 versus 9.0 A plus for half the price? I mean, I would say this one was a deal. Back in July 2020, a 9.2 A sold for $1,400. Yeah, this kind of undersold based on all comps. Interesting. Something's blowing up over here. 1942. Now, interesting enough, I didn't look at this that closely because I saw it wasn't a hang tab version, but I guess I shouldn't be sleeping on 1942. Yeah, not a hang tab version, but like early Capcom. And the thing is with 1942 here, right, I'm saying it's not a hang tab version, but the truth of the matter is you won't get any sealed 1942, so you kind of take what you get. 4,000 for the 8.5 A plus. Let's see if this has any comps as well. Yeah, there you go. All they've sold is another later production back in March 8th, 2020. Yeah, you get what you can get with games like 1942. Just is what it is. Here's Princess Tomato. It's sun faded to shit, unfortunately, which is probably the 7.0 A. Yeah, fading on box, you can just see it. Still, finding a factory sealed Princess Tomato is just kind of impossible. This is another one. Someone just asked about Zen Intergalactic Ninja. Like Princess Tomato, Zen Ninja, those types of games, you just don't see them. And I mean, yeah, they do appeal to a far, far, far more niche crowd than something like Mario Bros. But if you want to go down like a deep collector's path of games, Princess Tomato is pretty fucking cool. I'm sure a lot of people have no idea what this even is. You know, like what that sell for? 900 bucks for a sealed Princess Tomato? That's just, you know, it's worth. That's absolutely worth the 900 bucks. Just is. 8.0 Rad Racer. Early print. Not the earliest print, but an early print. The earliest print, if you guys don't know with Rad Racer, has daytime screenshots on the back. I'll show you in just a second here. But cool to see Rad Racer coming up as well. Rad Racer there, finishing for 2,600 bucks. And here, I'll just show you the screenshots quick, I mean. On the first print version, this screenshot right here will be daytime. See how this is daytime, nighttime, daytime? This one will be daytime on the earliest print. And here's the Mario Bros. 8.5A, late print. Late print Mario Bros is not going to be nearly as rare as early print Mario Bros, which people have to get through their fucking heads at some point. Still Mario Bros, and it's still gonna sell for tens of thousands every time it comes up. Title marks the first appearance of Bowser. $31,000 for the Mario. So the 9.4A is a $100,000 game. 9.2B plus is $39,000. 9.6A plus $144,000. 8.0B plus $22,000. The amount of variance based on grade with this is fucking insane. So this is $31,200, right? 8.5A. You can see that if you take that 8.5 and go up 1, 2, 3 tiers on the grading scale, the price triples. I don't know if that's justifiable, to be completely honest. I don't know if this is cheap, that's high. It's just... it's just an insane multiplier going up by 0.2 intervals there. Or just moving up by a single scale on the grade. Insane. Insane how much the price moves. A lot of VGA 95 Switch games on Certified, even some rare, less known games. Any thoughts about it? Damco, I still need to go look at the offerings, but if you can get a VGA 95 Switch game for not much above the cost of grading it, buy every one of them. You know, if the VGA 95 Switch games sell for say 200 to 300 bucks, you can take a shot at that price. There's very little downside there. The Tecmo Cup Soccer 8.5B for 480. Oh fuck, that's so low. That's insane. Complete in box copies are gonna cost you like $200-300 bucks for a nice one. I know it's only an 8.5B, but you know, that's crazy to see. It's crazy to see how little a game like that has appreciated with everything else. So, yo, Turtles here is sitting at a 9.0A for 6,600, and Tecmo Cup Soccer is like selling for less than it sold for back in 2016. Fucking insane. What does the Turtles have comps for here? 9,600 for a 9.2A plus. This is 6,600 for a 9.0A. That makes more sense. You know, that makes more sense that you go up about 30% on the scale by dropping the grade by a bit. Or, sorry, 3,000, I guess 50%. Not doubling with each interval, but still a strong sale there on Turtles. I'm baffled every time I see Turtles sell. It's not one that I don't care about turtles at all, so when that one exploded, I was just like, what the fuck? How hard is sticker residue on a seal to get off? I have Killer D on a seal 2K10, but it's got sticker damage. Extremely easy, Jax Peter. Normal sticker residue, you don't have to care at all. It'll wipe off in almost 99.99% of instances. Sticker residue itself is not an issue. You don't need to be afraid of that. What's my advice to people who are still alive? Thank you for the $10 donation, man. Greatly appreciated. Sorry it took me so long to get back to you here. What's your advice to people who are game collecting because they're passionate about games but can't afford the high prices right now? Should we wait until the market crash or corrects itself? Still alive, this is such a tough question of 2,600 there on the WrestleMania. It's such a tough question as if people should wait, right? Because a lot of the people who are saying they are priced out are the same people saying that it's all in a bubble, it's all going to crash. So if you truly do believe that, if you truly do believe the market's going to crash, everything's going to deflate, then of course these people should wait, right? But there's no guarantee that that is going to be what happens. Certain things, certain games, certain segments of the market will deflate. We're already seeing with Pokemon games, right? Since the big COVID boom, Pokemon games are coming down. Very popular Gamecube titles are coming down. Complete in box versions. So I think with the complete in box market, people could probably wait if they are looking to purchase, you know, some of the most popular games for the systems. There's always going to be supply of them, but there's no guarantee on stuff like that. So long as you're properly budgeting, if you're properly, you know, being responsible, I don't see an issue with just kind of buying a game here and there, buying another game next month, and just averaging your way through. Long answer, but it's a good question. What is this? A yellow screenshot later print here, I assume? $4,300, 8.5A plus. Green screenshots, yellow screenshots, 9.2A plus. 8.5A plus. Unless there's another difference here. Large warranty. $16,000 for this one, 9.2A plus, $4,300 for this one. I would venture to say this person overpaid. This feels like a deal. Looking at those two comps. We had the Oracle of Ages, $720 for 9.08 plus, really? Why does that feel so soft? Because this is the foil print, right? I guess 8.5A plus, 870. 9.08 plus, 432. 720, like fuck, I can't argue that. $60. Factory sealed Zelda game in nice condition? Seems like a solid price to me. Here's another huge one I was talking about at the very beginning, the GoldenEye 9.08 plus. I'm surprised to see how much GoldenEye is worth. I'm surprised by most N64 games at this point in time. $12,600 for a 9.0A plus GoldenEye. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, price points I never thought we would get to, or, you know, at least I thought it would take years and years. This is the Player's Choice GoldenEye, 9.6A++, much higher grade, but interesting here that they're saying they sold a Player's Choice back in July for more than $9,000 with this same grade. No fucking shot does this get close to $9,000 again. So $3,800, yeah, the person who paid $9K, I have to assume that was in a signature auction. The signature auctions always go wild. It wasn't even in a signature. Holy shit. You know, this is what mad speculative markets do. That's what happens. Fair warning. You got to be careful, no matter what you're buying. You know, people call it a bubble, people call it crashing, but we're in such an immature market that there are no established prices. So, like, just be careful. 9.4A++ sold for $22,000. So, I mean, 9.0A plus $12,000. That's just where GoldenEye is now. If you want a GoldenEye, you're going to be paying out your ass for it. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Not a game that ever meant anything to me. I have no nostalgia for GoldenEye. I know, crazy. The Golden Sun, the 9.6A plus, sold for $1,920. And I do want to see if there's any comps on Golden Sun as well. $1,000 for a 9.0A plus back in July. That was at the signature too. Interesting. So 9.6A plus. Interesting, hey? This person here got their shot at the signature and did kind of shitty, all things considered. And this person kind of gets shafted and gets put in a weekly with the 9.6A++. Yeah, it's just kind of funny how that works out. Liard Lee, if someone were to auction 10 copies of Mario Bros. In one day, there would be people out there to create floors on it. So the price wouldn't plummet. The absolute worst thing is you would see is people would create a floor and they would sell for that floor price. There are too many people with too much money to let something like that happen. And that's just the reality of it. $5,700 for the leaf green.
Fair warning.
9.6A plus, 9.6A plus plus sold for $7,200 back in April. This one sold for $5,700, 1 plus short. Sapphire $1,500, 9.0A.
$90.
Right? That's getting affordable.
$100.
That's not even that insane anymore if you want to pick up a Sapphire. Oh shit, there's a melee. I'm trying to get caught up on you guys, but this auction's also pretty crazy. And you know, this is the type of copy I'm gonna buy at some point in my life. You know, the thing is, everyone focuses on the high grade 9.8A++ shit when we talk about headlines and we talk about games. But if you just reduce the grade, if you just come down to buying like a shittier copy, the price drops dramatically. And I don't know if people actually realize that. But, you know, $1,500 for a melee, it's not god-awful. It's not terrible. A 9.4A is going to present, not bad. I mean, let's be honest, right? An A seal rating, not great, but 9.6A plus here on the Zelda as well, which that felt like a soft sale as well. I'm going to check comps on this one as well here. $1,000 for this, 9.6A plus, I think we've seen before. Oh, never mind, 528 back in January, 9.8A plus plus, July 13th. This is fine. That's a fine sale. Here's Wario World 2, 9.6A plus. Kinda crushing? Have we seen Wario World at Heritage before? I feel like Wario World is a big time underappreciated GameCube game. Not that it's a great game by any means. I'm not saying it's a great game, but it's pretty cool. Did it say first time here? First copy they've offered, so $1,300 for Wario World. Mario Galaxy 9.6A plus, $1,380. You know, I'm always baffled at Mario Galaxies as well. I was not on the train of these appreciating in value. I remember there was someone on Instagram claiming that this game was going to be $1,000 soon, and I was like, oh, fuck no, it's not. And I was wrong on this one. 9.6A plus is $1,300, and 9.8A plus plus would just blow up. It's crazy to see. Here's Brawl. There's a lot of variants of Brawl too. I don't know them off the top of my head. I don't know if the Wi-Fi logo ones are early or late print, but $1,000 for Brawl as well. It's crazy seeing Wii games sell for $1,000. It just is. It's crazy to me. Can I please explain the not for resale variant of Turtles 4? I saw this and got super excited about this cart, but not sure if it's not for resale. Not for resale version is a demo kiosk version in the Super Nintendo world. So that would have been a demo cartridge that was used in stores or kiosks, and then they are supposed to be destroyed afterwards. So the ones that you do see are ones that just leaked out to the market. I don't know if it's a full game there or if it's a demo version of the game. I'm not super knowledgeable on what each NFR cart has on it, but that's what they are. Pop reports will destroy GoldenEye. I think it might lower the value, yes. I don't think GoldenEye is going to be a rare game once pop reports come out. But it's a game that's going to be propped by insane demand, so I don't even know if it'll matter. That's the thing too, right? Even if these pop reports come out, right, and GoldenEye isn't a rare game. I don't think most people are going to fight you on that. But if we still have 500 people who want to buy 200 copies, the same shit's going to occur if we had 100 people who want 50 copies. So it's a really, really hard thing to gauge that. I hate trying to predict demand, which is why I often try to go with low supply instead of high supply. The supply side's easier to anticipate. Link to the Past, Player's Choice is a nice cover. Agreed completely, Ryan. The Player's Choice Link to the Past is actually beautiful. You remember liking Wario World as a kid? If I go back and play it now, my mind waits. Yeah, Opal, Wario World isn't a great game. It's absolutely a game that I would say is really fun for people aged 6 to 10. Really good game for someone in that age range, but if you go back and play it now, you're going to be like, shit, this is pretty dry. Golden Axe the Duel, $1,200. I don't know. I just, for a 9.8A plus, any Sega Saturn game is fucking difficult. Golden Axe the Duel, I think, is one of the cooler Sega Saturn games. There aren't a ton of great games on the system. Maybe Sega Saturn fans will greatly disagree with that take, but Galaxy selling for more than Princess Tomato. That's a tragedy and a crime against video games. What a funny world we live in, hey Cal Rock? Who would have anticipated 5 years ago? Do I prefer WATA or VGA? For my personal collection stuff, I do prefer VGA. I just like the case design way more, but I do prefer the WATA label. And the grading scale, honestly. But like if I had to choose between having my game in one or the other, I would take a VGA case for personal collection. 9.8 A plus here on the Crash Team Racing. I know someone in chat was talking about this and watching this one. Pretty big grade on a pretty good title. 9.6 A plus plus for 1,300, 9.8 A plus for 1,800. This one sold for 1,320, 9.8 A plus. Pretty shitty sale, all things considered. Unless there's something I'm missing, which I don't think there is. Just a pretty soft sale. This long box here is actually going strong already. I think it was Doom saying that they're already going strong on eBay. I'm a bit surprised by this bidding action on game day. I don't know the relative rarity of long boxes that well, so keep that in mind. But, I mean, I didn't expect this to go over $1,000. Yeah, Doom Candy, I agree with that. We're just seeing a lot of trickle effect. We are seeing a lot of leak where people can't afford the Super Nintendo NES N64 version. And then, boom, you have to go to the Wii version or something else. This is going to end up like the Beanie Babies Bubble Pop. Alamist, you should look into the Beanie Baby Bubble more and watch some videos on it so you can understand the fundamentals that led to the Beanie Baby Pop, because you can't really just take that that mindset or that philosophy and just relate it to any kind of bubble market. There are actual fundamentals and reasons that a market like Beanie Babies will pop, and something like video games will never follow that same trajectory. Just watch some videos on it on YouTube. There's a lot of people who have covered the Beanie Baby bubble pop in great detail, and it's extremely interesting. But there are fundamental differences that led to that crash that is hard to replicate in a lot of other markets, despite people thinking it's just transferable. You know what I mean? Thinking that it just one market to the other. Oh, this is just like Beanie Babies. It's not that similar at all, actually. Tomb Raider 2 7.0A, only 552. I don't think there was very much, just the game day, which $1,400 is pretty insane. Urgies, I mean, 384 B plus seal rating. Yeah, I guess so. Tomb Raider 2 7.0A, really low grade, 552. WCW Nitro, fucking great wrestling game, $600. What makes a game more or less rare within a system? Like, what makes GoldenEye not rare? That's more anecdotal evidence, H2A, of how many there actually are floating around out there. Like, just over the years of how many people see. Because obviously we don't have pop reports, right? So we're functioning off of anecdotal accounts of people's experiences with N64 and stuff. And a game like GoldenEye is just never going to have the low-ass population counts of other games, honestly. It's just always going to have a higher population count. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be common or insane or anything like that, but you're just going to have a higher overall population count. Do I think Player's Choice Greatest Hits versions of games are underpriced right now, or do they deserve the low value in most instances? It's certain ones that are underpriced. I love Player's Choice Greatest Hits games where getting the black label is so out of reach for a majority of people. That's where I think that the Greatest Hits and Player's Choice games really can appreciate. I mean, a lot of them are absolute dirt cheap, but a lot of them are absolutely common as well. Like, if you look at Kingdom Hearts, right, Greatest Hits, I think it's like a $15 game. So, I mean, as an alternative, as a next best thing, if you don't want to spend, what's a Kingdom Hearts like $2,000 for a black label, you can get a Greatest Hits for $15. Absolutely go that route every time if you just want to like collect the game. Do I think they're going to appreciate or have massive price movement in the future? I don't know. There's a lot of them, and it would take a lot of actual organic collectability or a massive wave of speculation into Greatest Hits to really move them. I don't know. I would only buy them if you want to collect them. Which, if you want to collect them, in a lot of cases, they're pretty freaking cheap. Final Fantasy 12 there, that was the Steelbook, 9.6A plus for $480. The Steelbook is, for whatever reason, there's a lot of them. A lot of these remain factory sealed. I don't know why. It's always been a common game. 216 back in October. $168 back in July. $168. $480 now. Yeah, there's just, you know, not all games are super expensive. I personally liked Final Fantasy 12. I know a lot of people hated that one. I didn't think it was a bad game. One issue is that collectors don't want to sell their galaxies, so you'll have less come up. And that's another great point, Doom Candy, is even when we have these higher supplies, people will look at a population count, but a few people have referred to it as a functional population count, where how many are actually going to be available in the market at any given time. How many are locked up in collections that won't be sold for 1, 2, 5 years. So even if the pop count is 300, the realistic amount that you might ever see floating around could be 200. Just because the pop says a certain number doesn't mean we're ever going to see those. We will never see all 300 copies come to market. It will never happen. So it's something to think about as well. And Dragon Ball Z Connect, 9.6a. Did anyone actually play Dragon Ball Z Connect? I remember when it came out, I actually did want to buy it, but I think it reviewed really shitty. So I never actually bought it. But did anyone actually play this game? I'd love to hear a first-hand account. Do I think God of War First Print Security Seal will explode in price? I don't know if it's going to explode in price, fresh prints. That's another type of game where I actually do wonder what the pop report will say on it. I think God of War with Security Seal could actually see a pullback once pop reports drop, because it might not be as rare as people think it is. Games like that scare me much more than cardboard versions of games. I could be completely wrong on that. Don't take my word as gospel there. But I don't... If you're asking me, do I think it will explode? No, I don't. At least not in the short term. Yep, have to go by grade pop count, not just pop count. Most people who don't buy this stuff don't get it, I guess. Doom Candy, there is a lot of... there's a lack of knowledge. There just is. Even with pop counts, right? It's just... you know, absolute pop is one thing. 9.6 and above pop is a completely different talk. They don't even relate to each other. So, yeah, I agree with you, Doom Candy. I agree. CGC label, yeah, H2A, I'm also a little bit worried about the CGC label. I assume their games are going to have it again to stick with that blue type of things, but I wish they would have more of a neutral looking label. I'll still see what CGC offers, obviously, for grading, because I am excited about it. I am going to try them out. So, you know, maybe I can get around the label, maybe I can't. I don't know. I'll see once I have one in hand. So do I think rare games like Rule of Rose, Blood Will Tell will explode in prices? Not necessarily, Sammy, because you also need a lot of demand to come in for those games. A game like Rule of Rose will never be as popular as a game like GoldenEye 64. So even though the absolute pop count on something like Rule of Rose will probably be lower, I think, it probably will never explode in price because you always need people who want to buy those games at higher prices. How many people are going to give a shit about Rule of Rose in the next 5 to 10 years? I don't know. Blood Will Tell, even a less than Rule of Rose. At least Rule of Rose has been super popular for a long time. Blood Will Tell is kind of like a secondary game even to Rule of Rose. It's really hard to say, Sammy. Really hard to say. Any ideas on what a sealed D2 collector's edition would get at auction? It is as mint, as far as I can tell. Achu, I honestly have no idea, man. I have no idea. I would love to get a mint sealed Diablo 2 collector's edition. I kick myself so much. I used to own a sealed one back in like 2015, and it cost me like $400. And I got it in, but the condition on it was kind of shitty. Not even bad, right? It would have been like a VGA 80 plus, which is like pretty damn good condition. But back then, there was so much less priority. You really had the mentality of, oh, that's okay, I'll be able to get another one. Oh, that's okay, I'll get a nicer one later. I never got a nicer one. So I sold off that one, and now I do not own a Diablo 2 collector's edition. And what would it sell for now? Thousands, I have to guess. I can't even give you a real number. I just can't. It's an item where if I owned it and I wanted to sell it, I would just put it up for auction. Well, I would first grade it with VGA just to get the authentication, blah, blah, blah. But then I would put it up for open auction. We always talk investing, speculating, all this money stuff. If you just want to get something cheap for personal collection, grab yourself a PSA 7. Grab yourself a VGA 75. For all intents and purposes, they still present super nice. And you can save yourself hundreds, if not thousands. So don't always buy into the whole you have to have high grade, you have to have perfect, you have to have the best. You can just buy shit for personal collection, and honest to God, at the end of the day, once you have it in your possession, it's gonna feel pretty much the same. So that does it for today's auctions, which again, for a weekly, we're actually seeing a lot of high dollar games come into this. We had another Super Mario Bros. 8.5 ace ending at $31,000, which I showed earlier in the video how huge the jumps are if we go to a 9, a 9.2, a 9.4. I don't know if that's justifiable or not. I don't know if that's sustainable or not. It seems like massive jumps, but we'll see what happens as more come out. The Oval Seal Mario is going to be where most comps are going to come from, but do not correlate the Oval Seal Mario sales with what happens with Hang Tab Marios, because those are going to have completely different markets forever. They just are. They're completely different clientele who's buying into those games. This is the last shot for a normal person to have a Mario Bros. When we get into those hang tab ones, that's all going to be investment, huge speculation, millionaire type money. It just is what it is. Coming down, we see GoldenEye 9.08 Plus selling very strong at $12,000. Ninja Turtles $6,600, proving Ninja Turtles is still super high demand there. Pokemon Leaf Green 9.68 Plus for $5,700. A lot of this we talk about what is common, what's rare, what their pop reports are going to ruin stuff. Pop reports are going to hurt some games. Pop reports are going to help some games. But we are in such a euphoria, speculative space when all of this boom happened that pullbacks of 20%, 30%, it is inevitable. Because you have to remember, right? 2 years ago, this Pokemon game might have sold for, let's say, $500. Now it's selling for $5,700. So let's say in a year from now, it sells for $4,000. In a 2 or 3 year span, if we just like zoom out a little bit, we're still up 8,000%. 8,000? 800%. So it's all about a bit of perspective there where, oh my God, the market's crashing. But if you just zoom out a little bit, holy shit, the market's still up 800% in 3 years. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. It's one of those things where you really have to take in the perspective of where we still are. Even if we were to take every price on this and just cut it 50%, it's like, okay, in the past 3 months, prices are down. In the past 12 months, prices are up. It just depends when you buy in. It's one of those things of time in the market versus timing the market. All that dollar cost averaging, all that shit. Super Mario Land WATA 8.58 Plus, I'm pretty sure sold very low compared to the comp that it had, but the comp that it had was in a signature auction where things almost always go expensive, so I think this is a more representative price of where this game kind of sits with yellow screenshots. Green screenshots is its own story. There's a variant with green screenshots on the back. Yellow screenshots is its own thing. 1942 Capcom early $4,000. Player's Choice GoldenEye down like $5,000 from the last one that sold, which crazy. Metal Gear 3600, Mario Bros 3100, Rad Racer 2600. I think someone in chat said they felt this one sold a little bit soft, which Rad Racer probably in any condition isn't going to have a high population count, so we'll see what pop counts do for a game such as this, where there might be such an absolute low population count that it spikes. We'll see. High Grade Wrestling for 2600, Metroid Classic Series $2,000, which honestly didn't seem bad at all because it's one of those things where this is the Player's Choice Metroid, right? People were asking me before, how do I feel about Player's Choice Greatest Hits? The Classic Series NES Metroid is kind of your next best alternative to owning an original factory sealed Metroid. Original Metroids factory sealed are going to be expensive as shit in any condition. So if you want a Metroid NES factory sealed, this kind of is your next best alternative. If I feel good, I would feel great, let's even put it, putting $2,000 into this game at this time. I think this is where there is a little bit of, I think this is undervalued. Take it for what it is. I think this is a good price point to get in at a WATA 9.08 Plus on a Metroid. We'll see what happens with it. Golden Sun 9.68 Plus $2,000. I mean, Golden Sun, as far as GBA goes, if you're a GBA collector and you're into this thing, I think this is also a good price on Golden Sun. Coming down, NFL Game Day 9.8A for $1,400. I was surprised by this. Galaxy holding above $1,300 in 9.6A Plus. First Wario World we ever saw, $1,300. There's so many games in this weekly that broke the $1,000 mark. Damn. I also thought this was a great deal this week. The Golden Axe the Duel 9.8A Plus, $1,200. Yoshi 9.6A Plus. This is another one where it's not necessarily a rare NES game, but I think over time, when the market matures more, demand is going to flow to games like this, where even if there's a higher pop count, demand is going to swallow them up. Gamecube games here holding over $1,000. Same with Smash Brawl. That was Zelda Collector's Edition 9.68 plus. Some people were saying that on eBay, these are actually doing better. So never forget to check your eBay comps as well. We had the Turtles in Time, not for resale cartridge at $780. I also thought this Oracle of Ages 9.08 plus for $720 was a decent deal. Tyson 7.0 feels overpriced at $660. Tons of Pokemon stuff in this auction. Tons and tons and tons. I feel like we're getting more and more and more with each auction that comes. Coming down to the bottom, though, we had this week's losing game. This week's big loser was actually not an Atari game, which is pretty fucking crazy. Blazing Dragons with Cheech. Is that Cheech? Like, is that Cheech and Chong? Cheech? The fuck is this game? I actually know absolutely nothing about this game. I just realized. $79 for it. Terry Jones and Cheech. That has to be Cheech and Chong, right? Is this a... What the hell is the premise of this game? A pathological Rapunzel, schizophrenic, forget a sword, bring a psychiatrist. From the twisted mind of Monty Python, Blazing Dragons Warp Medieval Adventure brings 40 wacky characters to life with a freakish mix of voiceover talents from Cheech, Harry Shearer, Terry Jones, and a wild arcade action. What is it? What the hell is it? I still don't know what it is. Is it like a visual novel? Insane. Absolutely insane. Well, that's the loser of this week's auction, $79. Hope to see you guys next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Come hang out for the live chat. It's honestly, the amount of people in here is getting really fun. We can have some lively talks. At some point here, I'm just going to have live streams where we just sit down and talk about topics. So, I mean, more and more, the auctions are becoming the backdrop to the conversation. Maybe on Saturdays or some shit, we'll just have to introduce live chat talks. We'll see how it goes, but hopefully I can see you guys next Tuesday.